Good afternoon, and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle. You can find me on X at Razzle Here to take a look at the pitching for today, the 28th of July. It is Tuesday, and we do have a 10-game main slate this evening. It's actually a 9-game main slate because we did lose Atlanta and the Mets here. Had to refresh this page, but that does eliminate a little bit of pitching on the slate, but that's all right. I was a little interested in using Christian Scott more than Chris Sale, but it is what it is. We shouldn't have any other weather issues from my understanding. A reminder that this is a first look at the options on the slate, and I will be looking at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. If you play in FanDuel, cut my pool in half or so. Pricing isn't quite as tight. You don't have to be as creative. It allows you to get stacks you want with an upper tier-ish pitcher. Now, with losing Sale, we have no pitchers over the 10K mark on this particular slate. It's very interesting. When I looked, it looked like the ownership was fairly spread out from a pitching standpoint on DraftKings this evening. So it is going to make things a little bit interesting. There are a couple guys that are chalkier than others. I just wrote my article for the members of DFS Army. You can check that out. I did touch on 4 different pitchers in that article. Definitely want to check that out. I'm curious to see if the ownership projections stay the same as they are right now, or if they change over the next hour and a half or so. But let's just jump in, look at each matchup, and figure out which pitching options we're going to consider before we finalize our pool later this afternoon. Cleveland-Cincinnati, Game 2 of the doubleheader. I'm not sure what Cincinnati's doing from a pitching standpoint. DK has Chase Petty opening with Franco as the probable long reliever. Originally, I saw Brady Singer was set to start Game 2. We're just going to need to pay attention to what Cincinnati plans to do. They went with Chase Burns in Game 1. It's 5-5 in the 8th. Chase Burns was tagged with a bunch of unearned runs. I'm not going to have any interest in what Cincinnati does at pitching for pitching purposes. Just the interest is kind of decides what I do with Cleveland bats tonight. But Gavin Williams, somebody that's gone for basically 35 fantasy points in 2 out of his last 3. Both of those starts came in against Minnesota. 3 straight starts of 11 strikeouts. Pretty strong numbers there. Gets a spectacular strikeout matchup. Put up 23 fantasy points against Cincinnati the first time he faced them. He's a little worse on the road, so that obviously takes a hit. His K rate goes down a little bit. Home run rate allowed and walk rate increases, but still averaging over 20 DK points per game at home. Going to be one of my favorite options on this particular slate. Yankees, White Sox. I'm not getting to Anthony K, even though this Yankees lineup looks pretty bad right now. Having lost Bellinger to the IL as well. I think this lineup can struggle against left-handed pitching. Problem is like Anthony K just doesn't do a whole lot. And on this particular slate, I just don't find myself, trying to bend my thoughts to include somebody like Anthony K in my pool. Garrett Cole on the other side, coming off of really strong start, his second best one of the year, second double-digit strikeout performance. His K numbers have increased over the last couple starts. Home runs can still be an issue, and that's a tough one coming against the White Sox. They do hit a bunch of home runs. He has given up 2+ runs in every start since his first 2 back from the IL, which is 9 of 11 starts, or 9 straight starts. It is a potent lineup. I'm not sure what to do here. I haven't been using the White Sox much recently because they have struggled a little bit, but then Murakami kind of woke up. I saw some rumblings that Murakami could missed something, for something was going on. It was kind of more cryptic in Murakami's, I don't know if it was an IG post or something. So definitely have to see. I guess the lineup is out, so he is in the lineup, so forget everything I just said. I think Garrett Cole's in play. It's just I don't know that I want to be in love with him tonight, especially if he's one of the more popular options. Kansas City, Minnesota. Seth Lugos is probably somebody I'm not using on a 9-game slate. The overall Minnesota lineup has struggled a bit lately, but Lugo is not really somebody that I expect to take advantage of the matchup, and now I can't get anything to load apparently. But Taj Bradley on the other side is somebody that I want to utilize. Kansas City without Bobby Witt, the lineup looks so much weaker. You have a couple guys that are heating up, Pasquantino, Michael Massey, I believe, but aside from that, I think Taj Bradley is the much better option for us in this game, and somebody that I want to utilize. Does appear to be one of the more chalky options on the slate, though. Did get the page to refresh. Had to pause the recording for a second. But yeah, Taj Bradley, pretty solid. 21, ultimately 21 plus fantasy points in 5 out of his last 6 starts. 20 against Kansas City, first time he faced them. Just didn't pick up a ton of strikeouts, and that might be an issue. But he is at home where he's been much better than on the road. So I am interested in Taj Bradley for sure on this slate. Cubs, Cardinals, I'm not interested in either pitcher. McGreevy has had some starts that are decent, but I'm just not getting there. He is best to win at home, which is where he's at tonight, but his K numbers just aren't there. I need some K upside from him, especially because the Cubs do have some potent offensive players. Some of the guys are heating up or have been heating up, so we're going to skip that Chicago game for pitching. Houston and the Angels, probably a good spot to take some pitching. Peter Lambert and his extreme reverse splits is somebody I like, but I don't know that it's the greatest of matchups for him against the Angels. They are fairly right-hand heavy with their everyday lineup. He hit up 2 home runs against them in 6 1/3. Wasn't terrible, 19 fantasy points, pretty solid. If you would have got the win, 23, we probably would take that tonight. He is on the road where he has been better from an earned runs allowed standpoint and fantasy points. K rate's better on the road as well. A little bit more volatile than I would like to see. Once again, just because that Angel lineup is a little bit more right-hand heavy, and that's some of the problems that Lambert does have. Detmer's on the other side, super volatile. We know that he's capable of upside-wise. This could ultimately be his last start with the Angels. I'm not sure if they are going to trade him. To be honest, they probably shouldn't, and should try to build with him, but they didn't really build with Ohtani, and they're not building with Trout right now. But 2 starts against the Astros, 31.2 fantasy points and about 18 fantasy points, 18 strikeouts in 11 2/3. Super dominant against them. His numbers are best when at home, which is where he's at tonight. Another guy that's going to be fairly popular, does have some volatility to him, but has one of the highest ceilings on this particular slate. Boston and the A's in Sacramento. We saw Tolley do pretty well for Boston after an early inning run. Jake Bennett could probably do something similar. It's not as strong as a K guy as Tolley can be, but he's been pretty good. His road numbers are pretty strong. Now, obviously, this is a AAA ballpark, a little different. The overall A's lineup is definitely weaker, especially without Shea against left-handed pitching. I'm going to sprinkle him in. I don't want to go too heavy on him, but I do like him a little bit more than Gage Jump in this particular matchup. I think Gage Jump is the better long-term major league pitcher. He has more K upside in his arm, so he's probably going to offer more of a ceiling than Jake Bennett does tonight, but his home runs at home have kind of popped up. Just home runs in general, I guess. 7 home runs allowed over his last 5 starts, after not allowing a single one in his first 6 starts. Just an interesting spot. He's not very good at home so far. ERA approaching 6.5 is not ideal in this ballpark. Just somebody I want to sprinkle in just because he has a ton of K upside. If he can avoid the home run ball, he has a chance to be a GP2 type or a SP2 in GPP type pitcher. Colorado, San Diego. Michael King, one of the most popular pitchers on the slate. I understand it. It is Colorado. Colorado does strike out plenty, but they also do score some runs, as much as people don't really want to believe it. And the big issue for me is King's walk rate with a lower K rate than we'd like to see. One runner, I guess just one run allowed in each of his last 3 starts. 2 or fewer in 5 of his last 6. But I don't think he's some guarantee to get it done. That walk rate, K rate, definitely can cause issues. He does a good job of keeping the ball in the ballpark, which probably won't hurt him. But given that he's going to be that popular, I'm not really sure that I want to be overweight on him on this slate. Milwaukee, San Francisco, pitching in my favorite ballpark, obviously. Logan Henderson has been pretty strong, coming off of a great start against the Mets, even though he gave up 2 solo home runs. Each of the last 3 runs he's allowed have come via the solo home run. 9 strikeouts last time out. I don't know that he's going to approach 9 in this one. Another thing to pay attention to, 76, 73, and 80 pitches. They are treating him pretty safely. There's a lot of talk about him being a main piece in a trade to acquire a starting pitcher. So the Brewers may still stick to just 5 innings and, around 80 pitches with him. I just don't see them pushing him. He only has, one start? 1 start of 6 innings this season. 3 starts ago, he did pitch into the 6th, but still, I think they're going to treat him pretty carefully. 84 pitches is high. So, I like it. I like the ballpark. I'm going to be playing Logan Henderson, but just realize there's a good chance he goes 5 innings and throws 79 pitches or something. On the other side, Landon Rout, 20 plus, 21 plus, and 3 straight starts. It's not an ideal spot. With Milwaukee, they lit him up I'm pretty sure that was in Milwaukee earlier this season. Yeah, they absolutely dominate him. 5 walks and 8 hits in 4 innings, 8 runs. But he's been pretty solid at home. Average against him just 198 at home, which is pretty good. K rate's pretty good as well. Just 3 home runs allowed in 45 home innings. So a lot of things trending in the right direction for Raup when pitching at home. It's just not somebody I plan to be super heavy on. If I had to guess, he'd probably be my 8th highest owned pitcher on the slate, which I guess isn't all that high. But I don't know. I don't love using right-handed pitching against Milwaukee at this point. Seattle and the Dodgers last game on the slate. No thank you to Luis Castillo taking on the Dodgers. But yes, please to the other side, Justin Robleski. Robleski, 26 fantasy points in 4 out of his last 5 starts. 5 out of his last 8. Just been really, really good. K numbers have been really strong. It's a guy that could strike out 1, but he could strike out 11. Obviously struck out 11 here, 9 and 7. But then he has a 1, 3, 4. A 0 in there as well. So it's a bit all over the place. Not a guaranteed strikeout guy, but he's pitching at home where he's been absolutely dominant. And Seattle just doesn't scare me right now, especially against left-handed pitching. I love the upside. Give me Robleski, one of my favorite pitchers on this slate. But there we have it. There's our first look at the pitching. If you enjoyed it, bring you, please click the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell, and get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc., I will drop links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's R-A-Z, for 10% off any MLB package monthly, or Best Ball 2026 gets you 20% off any NFL or VIP Core 4 membership. The Core 4 does include baseball. There's a link to our merch store. You can check out my hoodie, some of the other designs. Hit the comments. Let me know who your number 1 guy is tonight. Are you riding the Michael King ownership, or is there somebody else that sticks out to you? As always, best of luck, everybody.